Melissa Trevino, your neighborhood news reporter in Jim Wells County. County leaders got a $1.3 million grant from the state. This grant will help people move across Highway 281 easily. The goal, I've learned, is connectivity and accessibility. Work crews in Jim Wells County will begin Phase 1 of the Highway 281 Pedestrian Connectivity and Accessibility Sidewalk Project. The work, county leaders say, focuses on sidewalks 6 miles south of Alice and don't go further than the overpass. The students who live near the two school campuses, a county commissioner says, have to watch carefully for traffic, high grass, and other dangers.
Because it was something that was so much called for by the community. You know, we've had, before we got the overpass, of course, we had some accidents there, and they built the overpass, and it was great. But the walking from that side of town to the high school, it's just so unsafe. It's rainy days. You imagine the kids walking the side of the road. It was just so unsafe.
When Commissioner Huicho Gonzalez took over, he says sidewalks and the safety associated with them became a big issue. And when a grant became available, commissioners didn't wait to apply. For that, school leaders tell me they are grateful.
Student safety is our number one concern here. We do have a lot of walkers in our district, so being able to provide this in collaboration with Commissioner Gonzalez is definitely an asset for our school district. It's going to be very beneficial for our students to now have an access point to walk and get to school daily.
Victoria Jocelyn says she has a lot of students walking in the morning and after school, and their safety is always a concern.
It's a great thing because they do need the sidewalks. The sidewalks will be used by, of course, our constituents from Bembo, our high school students, our elementary students. They don't get that right now, and you know, it's a big thing for a small community to be able to benefit from a grant like this.
The county judge says this is just the start of what's to come for the small town. Sidewalks, the judge believes, gets people moving. Commissioner Gonzalez told me the project is important to help ensure everyone's safety. Construction is expected to begin in 2025. Covering your neighborhood news in Jim Wells County, I'm Melissa Trevino for Chris 6 News.
All right, folks, it's early in the rush hour, but traffic is looking good. Look at the haziness out there. There's a lot of humidity out there. Let's go ahead and take a
Now, your Chris 6 weather forecast.
All right, let's take a look at the live Snoopy cam, looking under mainly fair skies. It's pretty hazy in downtown, but out across Laguna Madre, it's looking pretty nice. And boy, look at those temperatures, 76 degrees of that gusty south-southeasterly wind. Now, we're also looking at some mid and high-level clouds in the coastal waters, but there are big changes coming up here. The cold front coming down into the area during the early morning hours, and that's why we've got the fire weather warning, we've got a wind advisory, a high wind warning for the inland areas, as well as a gale warning for the coastal waters. All that until mid to late afternoon tomorrow. Well, today we hit 77 degrees. Yeah, 54 your low this morning, and no rain during the last 24 hours. That's not going to change much in the next few days. But look at the temperatures, very warm across the state right now over all but the northern panhandle. That's going to be changing during the overnight hours. But for now, look at these numbers here. Upper 70s to lower 80s in the inland areas. It is very warm out there. Now, overnight tonight, we do get that cold front that makes its way through in the pre-dawn hours and knocks our temperatures down into the lower, middle, and upper 50s. So it'll be quite windy, though. And you can see that wind shift in the frontal passage right there. These are sustained winds that are going to be 25 to 28 miles an hour. And I showed you earlier the wind gust expectations around 50 miles an hour. But notice, in the afternoon, they start to lay down a little bit, and that's very good news as high pressure builds in. But by that time, the extremely dry air has done its thing. We look at these low dew points, and what that means is fire weather conditions, a combination of high winds and low humidity and fairly dry conditions out there. It's a problem. Now, the windiness continues early on in the day. It dries down in the afternoon, but temperatures are going to be 5 to 10, even 15 degrees cooler than they were today. Now, here's a feature picture, and it's kind of complex, so stay with me here. This is a trough that precedes this front. Now, this front, the trough moves through, but it's between the trough and the cold front where the high winds occur. And that's going to be between about 4 a.m. and noon. After that, this high pressure builds in, settle things down as far as winds are concerned. So Saturday and Sunday looking good, but right looming across the north, this is the Arctic system that we have been talking about so much. We're anticipating that arriving in the early morning hours on Monday. Now, this is what's driving it. This system here, now it does a couple of strange things here. It's reinforced by another disturbance, but the problem is early Tuesday morning. Watch what happens. You see potential for mixed precipitation here, and that's the one that's got me a little bit concerned. In fact, if you look at the model for that, you're going to see the precipitation Monday morning, it's liquid, and here's Tuesday morning, possibility of mixed precipitation over our northern counties. So it's something to be aware of and something that we're going to be watching very carefully. Feel-like temperatures, another major element. Monday and Tuesday, bitterly cold, and you're going to have to watch out for that. Look at these single-digit feel-like temperatures Tuesday morning, and so you have to get out and about. You're going to have to accommodate yourself for that. It's not going to be fun. It finally recovers by midweek, but Monday and Tuesday, not fun. Very mild tonight, extremely windy early morning to about midday tomorrow.